Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, the tarot cards are the Art Nouveau Tarot by Matt Myers. I've had this a long time. I'm going to say close to 30 years. I don't think you can find this anymore, but maybe. That's the information. This was before website. Well, I shouldn't say it was before websites. It was definitely before websites were popular. There's the information at the top. So if you're interested, that's the information for that tarot deck. Supportive Oracle cards, Chakra Wisdom Oracle cards by Tori Hartman, illustrated by Gretchen Reich Baskin. Website on the back is, I believe, WatkinsPublishing.com. Should be right there at the bottom. Feel free to check that out if you're interested. And I also use dice. I use a 22-sided dice for the major arcana, substituting 22 for 0. For the Fool, I use a 14-sided dice for the minor arcana, and then I have a 4-sided dice that I use to choose the element for that minor arcana. All these came from the Dice Shop, which is mathartfun.com. Hopefully you can see that website if you're interested. Hopefully it shows up on camera. mathartfun.com. Okay. With that being said, if you would like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. This is James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and let's get into your read. Hello, Leo. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Leo? Ooh. That card is... The Devil card is showing up a lot today. It's not that bad when you put it in context, but it usually kind of throws people off a little bit when it shows up. Okay. Can this other person keep up with you? Now, this could be work, some type of social connection, could be romance. You got the Lovers card coming up. You got a couple Lovers card, a couple love things coming up here. Could be, doesn't have to be. It's general read, take it with a grain of salt. Can this energy keep up with you is what I keep getting. Because I feel like when they got involved with you, they didn't get it. They didn't understand what you're really like. Not in a bad way. But Leo has a lot of dynamic energy. You go. You get a lot done. I feel like Leo's a constantly moving, I swear that it reminds me of Leo's, even when you sleep, you're still moving. I could be wrong, but it seems like a lot of you, even when you sleep, you're still moving. So, when they got involved with you, they thought this was going to link up a lot better than maybe it does, because I feel like they didn't realize that they weren't going to be able to keep up with you. And they can't. Okay. In the beginning, they thought they could. I'm not really getting much else with that. Am I supposed to get something else with that? Maybe I don't need to. I don't think they really saw you for who you are in the sense of your dynamic energy. They liked you. I think they just went with that. They just liked you. They enjoyed you. They enjoy your personality and how you talk and how you deal with things. And I think they just, that's good enough. Okay, then this is good. We like Leo. Leo good. Leo's good. Leo good. Leo good. They weren't taking into the other facets and the energy, the real energy behind Leo. I don't think they didn't get it. They didn't get it. They had no connection with that thought. So, as it keeps moving forward, I feel like you want this person in your life, or you want the situation here, you want this here. Which, I feel like that's becoming a challenge in itself. Because Leo's not one to dim their own light. It's not really how Leo works, in my opinion, but you might kind of try to work around this situation and just keep all right, I'll keep touching back with them and I'll help them when I can, or I'll work with them when I can, but if they need a break, that's fine. I'll just go do something else. And I feel like I'm trying to like maneuver this left and right, and I'm trying to keep in contact, kind of trying to keep their energy together. I'm not waiting for them. I'm not slowing myself down. I'm not dulling my light for them. I just feel like that's not an option, nor should it be. But I feel like I'm trying to keep an eye on it, and I'm trying to be aware of like how they run life. And when I'm dealing with them, I try to work within certain parameters that I think will work for them best I can. You got a very heartfelt loyalty to this energy or whoever this is, so this means a lot to you. I don't know that that's working. I don't know that that's working. I'm just trying to figure out if it's working or not because I don't know. Because this card is kind of here like the rules and restrictions. For some reason, this isn't really causing you. I don't think it's you that this is. No, I don't see like a pain for you though. That's the weird thing. I feel like you're doing what you can. The thing is, this energy does not rule over you. And Leo's one of those energies that the devil card cannot stop. The devil energy can't stop you. You will overpower that devil energy. So even though this is here, and I feel like maybe the people you're working with or person is trying to impose new rules, if those rules don't make sense, you're just like, no, I'm not doing that. And you just go on. You're like, no, I'm not doing that. And you just keep going where you're going to go. I feel like I'm not even giving it too much of a thought. They're like, well, this is a new rule. And you're like, it's not. And you just kind of keep going. That's how I see you responding to it. No, Leo, this is the new rule. No talking every third word. Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. I don't know what you're talking about. Bye. You're not disconnecting from this person totally, but you're just kind of like, I feel like somebody's trying to create rules, and you're like, I'm not doing that. Like, no, I'm not doing that. I don't know what to say about it. It's kind of humorous, maybe not, but yes, but no. It depends how you feel about it. Kind of humorous because they think that's going to work. Not humorous because you're like, the fact that you had the nerve to think to even try that. They shouldn't even have tried it, but so that's why it's kind of funny, but not funny. There's a very heartfelt connection here. Whoever this other energy is, I do feel like they are getting this idea that they can find a way to control you. Oh, I cringe at that. Is that real? There's certain signs that you like. I'm not really a big fan of people controlling other people anyway. But trying to control Leo, that's I don't know what type of foolishness somebody has to have to think they can, but yeah, it's not that's not gonna happen because I see you kind of busting right through that and continuing on like no, that's not Leo. You're not gonna control Leo. That's not no. No. And I feel like you're just kind of keep moving forward, and you're going to be aware of it, but you're like, no, I'm not doing that. It reminds me of somebody like kind of like okay, when we bring the groceries home, we organize them by color, and you're like, well, you can. I got other things to do. Like you can do that. Knock your socks off. I'm not. No. It just reminds me of something like it just seems so foolish. It's kind of like like, oh, when we put the silverware away, we do it one fork up, one fork down, one fork up, one fork down. And you're like, you can do that. I'm not doing that. That's foolishness. Just so I can open the door and go, ooh, how pretty. No, that's not the purpose of a fork. I'm not doing that. You persevere right past it without really much effort is what I'm getting. But like, I feel like this is like the writing on the wall. I feel like this is the writing on the wall. There's a problem here. This other person, I'm not really feeling like they're a bad person, but I feel like they have some traits that they're going to have to work on if they're going to stay connected with you. Because this isn't going to be an option. They're not going to, even if you wanted to let them control you, which I don't know why Leo would even consider such a thing, it's not within you to do that. You're still going to do what you need to do. That's not a Leo thing. Some signs are more compatible to following. Some signs will go along with that. Some signs will actually be not only okay with it, but will actually thrive within it. That's not you. That's not you. That's not Leo. if your sun sign especially is Leo and you have some maybe Earth in there, even though that could be a thing, Leo is just too much of a free thinker, a free mover. I'm just saying, trying to understand what's going on. Yeah. Because I feel like we go into another level and they're going to try to control you, and then they're going to try some... I feel like they're going to try to convince you that you're the one who's not doing things the way you're supposed to. That's not going to fly either. I don't know who this person is that you're dealing with, but they need to kind of step back and think about what they're doing, because Leo will usually speak their piece and you won't mince words about it. And if they're going to try to create some type of scenario where you're doing things wrong, or they're trying to create some type of scenario to try to control you, you're going to snap that right into focus fast. And I don't feel like you're going to give it like too much thought. You're just going to call it out for the blatant, like, obviously that's not true, and this is why, and don't try your ridiculousness with me. Like, I feel like you're trying the wrong one. Don't come here with that. I feel like they might try something like that. Like, it does feel manipulative. I don't know. There's good people that have toxic behaviors. They're just trying to do whatever they can to make the situation go where they feel like it should. I feel like they're using like a toxic trait to try to make that happen. I also feel like that's not going to work, and you're going to call it out for what it is. And you're also, I feel like there might be kind of a warning, like, don't come over here with that. Don't try that with me. There might be kind of a separation here after that, because Leo's not going to put up with toxic traits. They just don't do that. Even if you wanted to, even if you tried to, it's not going to be something you could sustain. For some reason, if you decide, I want to keep this person in my life, so I'm going to try to go along with this toxic trait because I want that, it's not going to last. It's just not within you to do that. So, I don't know what to say about that. Knight of Fire and the Fool card. I feel like there's going to be kind of a push-pull here. There's going to be an issue here. Whoever this person is, I don't know what type of person they really are. They might be a good person with some toxic traits. I'm a person that believes of everything that happens throughout these lives, at least for a time, we all have some type of toxic trait, usually a few, that come and go. In the optimal world, they come and then they go. We kind of we take on toxic traits for whatever reason, then we realize, that's not okay. And then we change it and we move on from those toxic traits. This is how we learn to deal with life. We try different things and we're like, oh, I thought that was good. No, that's not good. So I'm going to stop doing that, and we change. So I don't want to label this person as a bad person. I just feel like somebody's using toxic traits to try to manipulate you. And to them, they might think it's a bad thing, but it's clearly a bad thing. They're going to distance themselves, or they're going to be distanced from you, one of the two. Either they're going to step back and put distance, or you're going to put distance, or you're going to create that distance, kind of like, all right, you need a timeout to think about what you're doing to me here, because I'm not putting up with that. I get that they're going to go off and do other things, and there seems to be that rejection card is really kind of putting into question, are we thinking about what's going on between us while we're apart, or are we just pretending well, it'll just pass and we can go back to the way things were, even though that's not going to be true. We do need to kind of think about what happened here, at least on our own personal level. Maybe we can't talk it out together, but we need to think it out for ourselves. Wait, is there a problem here that really does need to be addressed and needs to be done differently? This other person, if they're not willing to really look at the situation, and both people are going to need to, it's going to come to an emotional issue. The world is coming up. I don't know. I feel like this is going to be a moment. This is going to be a make it or break it moment. I don't know. I'm nervous about saying it, but I feel like it's going to be a make it or break it moment. Because after we step away for a minute, we have to then decide, is this it for this situation? Are we done? The trick for you is to not get overstressed about it. Getting too caught up in your thoughts could make this just much worse for you. Don't get caught up in your thoughts. You know how you feel. This isn't something for you to step back about and think about and then return to. This is something that they're advising, I think, to you for you to just go into it. Because you're going to come forward with the truth. It's not going to be fun. But there's a lot of missing pieces and a lot of kind of like, I feel like the other person has some toxic traits that they're pushing onto the situation, and you will call it out. Just by getting involved in the situation, just by getting involved in a conversation with this person, you will call it out for what you see. And that's what the situation needs. Not like stepping back and like, what was this? Why was that? How did this? How did that? Just kind of having a conversation in the moment. And when they say something, especially if it's a little toxic, saying, okay, that's toxic and this is why, during the actual moment. Kind of like as it comes forward, dealing with it as it comes forward. It's not going to be a pleasant conversation, but I feel like you will hold your own and you will help this actually come forward. It's bringing forth the truth. It's justice coming forward with the Seven of Cups. That is the Seven of Cups, yeah. Which is kind of like what's real here and what's not. What do they think is going to happen that's never going to happen? How is it that they should change their behavior? Like certain things are not allowed. This isn't okay. You shouldn't be treating me or anybody else that way. It could be one of those things. Not the most enjoyable conversation, but it's something that needs to happen. It's good for you. It's very, very good for them. Somebody needs to kind of stand up to them and say, hey, that's wrong. You shouldn't be doing that. They then have a choice. Yeah, you got like a 2 different outcome thing going here. They have a choice. Having that conversation gives them a choice. They either can take what they've learned and kind of try to balance it out and really think it out. I don't think they should be just agreeing with you and just going, okay, you're right, and just going with what you want. What I think should be happening here is they should be like, all right, this is what Leo's saying. This is how this felt. They should go off on their own and really like sort it out. Like, do I think this is right? Do I think that's right? Like, is this correct? Is that correct? They really need to kind of sort it out. They really need to kind of marinate with that thought, with those processes, with those things that you've said. They need to take some time and really soak that up. That's hopefully where this is going. They could end up just going, oh, okay, Leo, and just pacifying you and continuing on the same way. Based on how they handle that, based on where they take it next is where things are going to go next. So this goes with this. Okay, so this card, if they just kind of pacify you and ignore it and go, okay, if that's what you say, Leo, this is how it is. I feel like you get along good with this person again, and they start reconnecting in a different way. If they're not really thinking about that, that's not the best, but it's not bad either. So, I don't know. I'm getting like they're going to kind of just align with you with what you want. They're going to go the direction you want with it. And I feel like you will get along very, very well. With this soulmate card, I feel like this is saying, remember, this is a general read. You're just going to get along really, really well. You're going to see each other eye to eye in this. I feel like they're just going to follow your lead after that. That's if they just kind of go, oh, okay, Leo, and they just don't want to think about it. That's really not the best outcome, ironically. It's really not. But if they step back and they really give thought to what you've said and they really kind of marinate in it and kind of like think about how they've been living life, how they've been treating people, why things go the way they go for them, if they do that, like if they balance it out and really kind of like, all right, Leo said some stuff, I agree with some of it, I don't agree with some of it. They shouldn't agree with every little thing that you said, but they should think about it and kind of really marinate with it, you know? Really give it some thought, you know? If they do that, they get a lot stronger. They're going to find more things are going to go better for them. They're going to have a lot more achievements. I feel like you'll probably stick together in this life, but they'll have a different way of handling things. It makes me feel like if they just go, oh, okay, Leo, you're right, whatever. They're going to follow what you want, and you'll be closer, but they won't be who they really are meant to be. If they think about it and really marinate on what's going on here and really think about what you said, it's kind of like if, for example, if you both lived in the same house as a couple, if we can use that analogy, it's kind of like maybe they'll take care of the yard, they'll be in control of the yard, and maybe you're in control of the house. And like, so for example, anything that changes outside, how the cleanup for the outside, the maintaining of the outside, they'll be in control of that and they'll do it their way. But you'll have the inside of the house, colors, changes, new things, old things, things to get, you know, upgraded. You'll be in control of that, but you'll both work in synergy, kind of like what I'm doing inside is what's matching what's outside and vice versa, but we're doing it our way, we're doing it on our own, we have control of these two different areas. So it's kind of like two strong leaders versus one strong leader. So if they go along, like I'm jumping back and forth, I know. This is the better outcome. I'm trying to center on this one. If they just pacify and they don't think about what you said and they just go along with it, it's kind of like you're in control of the inside and the outside, and the level, the upgrades that could happen with their participation doesn't really seem to happen. They just do what you want. You know what I mean? I hope that makes sense, because I'm like, they're supposed to think about what you're saying. They become a lot stronger. The situation is a lot more valued. The outside and the inside become much more beautiful with them leading and thinking about things on the outside and you doing things on the inside, or like something like that. Like, we get a lot more value out of the situation. It doesn't even get half that way if you have to lead it all yourself. Which I know Leo likes to lead, but this is just kind of like, for this person, they really need to think about what you're saying, and they really need to get like into their head, like what you're telling them is for a reason. Leo likes to be listened to. Like, you want to be heard. You're not just talking just for the sound of your voice. If that was the case, you would just, stay in your car, just drive around town and talk to yourself. I mean, if that's all you wanted, but that's not what you want. You want to be heard. You want to be listened to. You want to be thought about what you said. And if they do that the way they should, in my opinion, or a better way to do it is for them to do it that way, they advance, they become stronger. This can be a great thing. So I feel like the reason I'm going on about it is, like, you want to kind of promote and like tell them, like, they should step back and think about what you said and really think about where they lie with what you said. They don't need to agree with everything, but they really need to realize that you said what you said for a reason, and they should kind of think about it and like try to marinate with it and see if there's something they can do with that. Are we good? All right. I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.